Welcome to From the Pages of Wrestling All-Stars, issue 87, October 1996. The magazine that crashes into your lap with more chaos, insider dirt, wild illustrations, East Coast banquets, heel swagger, WCW defections, Madison Square Garden sellouts, Japanese bloodbaths, and ECW scandals than the entire Monday Night War could contain. So smash that like button harder than Taz choking out another victim. Hit subscribe like it's a powerbomb through a table. Ring the bell like Finkel announcing the Warrior, because here come your 60 seconds of white-hot rundown. Star Talk brings the coast-to-coast gossip. Taz and Bill Alphonso get roasted as wrestling's most annoying duo. WWF sells out Madison Square Garden, and the mag covers every sweaty seat. Kendo Nagasaki storms Scores nightclub in New York City for one of the strangest crossover appearances of the decade. Cauliflower Alley prepares for its East Coast banquet and urges fans to buy tickets. A full tribute honors the late Ray Stevens with love and memories. Diesel says farewell to WWF and hello to WCW, months before the NWO turns the world upside down. The All-Star mailbag fires shots and praise from readers everywhere. Ultimate Warrior vs. Owen Hart gets debated as a matchup that might not actually work. The official ratings list who's really on top. The Giant vs. Sting question looms over the WCW landscape. Cactus Jack's terrifying Japan Blood War gets documented. Fans draw their own wrestlers in Artist's Corner. The ECW love triangle storyline goes off the rails. The Godwins and Sunny stir trouble wherever she appears, because every belt seems to follow her. And Mayhem from the Tokyo Dome closes the issue with blazing, high-impact Puroresu spectacle. Now let's deep dive into this monster issue. It opens with Star Talk, the coast-to-coast rumor mill firing on all cylinders in 1996, when every locker room whisper felt like a career-changing revelation. It covers injuries, pushes, backstage politics, who's jumping ship, who's unhappy, who's pretending to be unhappy to negotiate a better contract, and who's barking at who behind the curtain. It feels like reading the wrestling internet before the internet mattered. Then we hit the feature Taz and Alphonso, wrestling's most annoying twosome. A glorious roast of the human suplex machine and his whistle-blowing, veins-bulging, suit-wearing manager Bill Alphonso, painting them as unstoppable, insufferable, and inescapable. A chaotic pairing that screams, argues, threatens, and chokes their way across ECW rings, while the fans both loathe and adore them. The photos catch Taz, glaring like he wants to break the camera, and Alphonso pointing, screeching, sweating, and blowing that cursed whistle. Then the issue shifts gears to WWF sells out, Madison Square Garden. A massive photo spread honoring the night WWF packed the Garden wall to wall, celebrating the company's historic home arena with shots of stars, fans, matches, bright lights, giant banners, and surreal electricity that only MSG can produce. The article captures the smell of popcorn, the roar of the crowd, the buzz of a pre-attitude audience, ready for something big, even if they didn't know what was coming. Then comes the delightfully bizarre Kendo Nagasaki hits Scores, where the masked Japanese legend shows up at New York City's most famous nightclub in full mystic attire, mingling with dancers, autograph seekers, bar patrons, photographers, and confused tourists, creating the strangest worlds colliding moment of 1996. The article treats it like a paranormal visitation, sprinkled with glitter and neon. We move into Cauliflower Alley East Coast Banquet, urging fans to get their tickets and join legends, retirees, historians, and old-school hard-noses for a night of speeches, storytelling, brotherhood, and tears. The magazine celebrates CAC as the heart and soul of wrestling tradition and reunion. Next is the emotional tribute to Ray Stevens, honoring the Crippler, recounting his brutally crisp work, his influence, his toughness, his comedic timing, his ability to brawl or wrestle or fly, remembering him as the template for the American heel and one of the greatest to ever lace a boot. Fans, legends, and writers all chime in about his legacy. The tone then shifts to Diesel's farewell, the big feature marking Kevin Nash's departure from WWF, framed as a changing of the guard. The article follows Diesel from cool outlaw champion to disgruntled giant, ready to jump to WCW, complete with commentary on guaranteed contracts. The business side of the sport. and the shockwaves of seeing another megastar walk out the door into Turnerland months before the NWO detonates wrestling forever. After that comes All-Star Mailbag, where readers fire off letters praising, roasting, questioning, arguing, pleading, and occasionally threatening over booking decisions, favorite wrestlers, heel characters, face turns, and general madness. The editors respond with dry humor and sharp edges, tapping into the loud and proud 90s fan voice. Then a classic Could It Work article, Ultimate Warrior versus Owen Hart, debating whether the wild, chaotic, high-octane warrior could mesh with the technical brilliance, precision, and deeply layered psychology of Owen Hart. The article suggests no contest for many reasons, but breaks down the fantasy pairing with affection, curiosity, and what-if energy. Then we hit the official ratings. The Power Rankings style feature listing who sits atop WWF, WCW, ECW, and Japanese promotions, giving fans bragging rights, heartbreak, and ammo for arguments. Then Giant versus Sting, asking whether the enormous, unstoppable Giant, later Big Show, can be beaten by the Stinger, analyzing size versus speed, raw power versus charisma, choke slams versus scorpion deathlocks, and painting the match as a clash of titans in the heart of WCW's war. Then, the legendary feature Cactus in Japan, showing Mick Foley in his most brutal, blood-soaked Japanese incarnation, with photos of barbed wire, crimson masks, concrete bumps, broken tables, fire, and pure deathmatch energy. The article serves as a love letter to Foley's insane courage and the Japanese hardcore scene that embraced him. Then comes Artist's Corner, a fun, charming break where fan-drawn portraits of wrestlers get showcased. Some brilliant, some adorable, some wild, all treated with equal respect, making the magazine feel personal. Then ECW Love Triangle, a hilariously dramatic recap of one of ECW's messiest angles, described as the dinkiest development yet, breaking down the backstage tension, the on-camera tension, the way ECW blurred lines between reality and fiction, and the fans' passionate and often inappropriate reactions. Then Godwins and Sunny, a juicy profile on the tag team, plus the unstoppable Sunny, portraying her as a belt magnet, a heat magnet, a spotlight magnet, the woman who elevates and complicates every pairing she touches, making the Godwins' mudslinging rural act feel like a sudden collision with 90s superstar glam. Finally, we reach Mayhem in the Tokyo Dome, the closing thriller, fast action, big suplexes, stiff shots, Japanese legends, foreign invaders, championship battles, and Tokyo crowds roaring with precision and passion. The magazine goes all in on the glory of Japanese wrestling, delivering photos and write-ups that make the Dome feel like the center of the universe. And sprinkled through all of it are the ads that give the issue its true 90s flavor. Mail-order posters, VHS tapes promising blood, brutality, action, hotline numbers, replica belts, T-shirts with neon lightning fonts, Polaroid sets of favorite stars, promo clubs, fan clubs, and wrestling schools offering to turn teenagers into the next big superstar. Every ad dripping with nostalgia and overpromising charm. That entire dizzying storm of gossip, chaos, danger, art, heartbreak, and 90s neon madness is Wrestling All-Stars issue 87 in all its raw, glorious, pulpy power.